Two dudes reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the UglyMugsPodcast. I'm your host, Quincy.
And your other host, Justin.
Continuing our social distancing. Our state's supposed to be starting its phases here soon, but we'll probably continue to play it safe for now.
Give it 2 more weeks.
Yeah, just keeping it safe. Don't want to affect each other. I finally found hand sanitizer at the store.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we got in freaking 45 boxes.
What kills me is it's like those things are starting to catch up now. Hand sanitizer, toilet paper, things like that. But I was at the store today, and then beef is still an issue.
There's the here's and there's that are still an issue, which is baffling, but understandable.
They finally had toilet paper in the store again, so I was honestly surprised about that. But today I went with Dutch Bros for my coffee.
The actual store?
The coffee place.
I didn't know if they did grounds or whatnot.
Oh no! I got a drink made.
Okay.
It's a Dutch chocolate cake type thing. I know it sounds like desserty and whatnot, but it's delicious, and I got a little extra caramel in it. It's pretty freaking good, and it's like a slushy frap type of thing. It's like a frap.
Oh.
So it's pretty good. It might be my new norm for a bit.
As for me, I think I found one of my favorite new green tea style. It is OKF Farmer's Aloe Vera Juice with green tea. It's delicious. It is great. I get it right over here at the corner store.
One more time. Give me that. What is it? One more time.
Okay.
Because you lost me there.
OKF Farmer's Aloe Vera Juice with green tea.
OKF. All right.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know where is it from. It is from Seoul, Korea.
All right. But you like it? Is it coming in like a can or a bottle?
It's a bottle. It is a very interesting square-like bottle, and it is super sweet. Earlier, I had the strawberry aloe vera, and that was just as good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to check them out. I mean, if it's over at that location, I don't know that I'll get anytime soon. But if I come across it in like the gas station or something, I'll give it a shot.
Oh yeah, recommend. Oh boy.
So, do you want to start with your trailers? Do you want to start with movies? What do you want to start?
We've got so much to talk about. Let's go ahead and get the sales out of the way, because there's a lot of sales going on, a lot of different things.
Okay.
Oh, okay, let's start off with the Humble Bundle. So Humble Bundle Monthly, or the Humble Bundle Choice as it's now called, has a new month, and it's got a pretty good selection so far. Jurassic World Evolution, XCOM 2, Rise of Industry, niche, not so much, it is pretty much a niche, a Warhammer game that plays just like Warhammer, The Swords of Ditto, which is a nice cute little platforming game, Warsaw, which is World War II, but in Darkest Dungeon style. Heave Ho, which is a nice little puzzle multiplayer physics game, if you will. Mo Astray, where you play a strange alien against eldritch horrors, which is a cool thing for me. Neoverse, which kind of seems like a Slay the Spire, but with anime girls. Chess Ultra, which is, well, chess. And Horus, which I've heard... But Ultra. And Horus, which I've heard is a platformer that kind of goes back in time. So you get a good selection of those for inexpensive. I find XCOM 2, with it 2 DLC, by the way, to be a part of that deal pretty fair. You like Jurassic World Evolution, yeah?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's got a story. There's a lot of elements to it. It's not just like they went, yeah, we ripped off SimCity. There's a little bit more to it than that, because you really are running the park. They had dinosaurs and cats and stuff like that. But I always felt the price tag on it was too high, so I was glad when it hit Game Pass.
Now I pay $15, Would $15 be worth it?
Yeah, that's fine. And it's got DLCs you can buy also, but
it comes with one.
I haven't even bothered to even look at them yet because I haven't finished everything in the base game.
Fair enough. I mean, those two alone seem to be worth it because it's $45 for Jurassic World Evolution and $60 still for XCOM 2, but you gain 2 really strong DLC for it. I recommend. I would say that would be a good double set. And if you're into Darkest Dungeon but want it in a World War II setting, boom, Warsaw. If you want to get into Warhammer, Gladius, the game that is offered here, a good choice. That's 4 really good choices. Rise of Industry, I think, might be your niche because it's like a SimCity type of city builder.
Mm-hmm.
I have no patience for those games, but I could see the appeal. And of course, with that comes a few things that are DRM free, such as a DRM free game called Rainy Season and a game that is published by Humble Bundle called Fae Tactics. I don't know anything about them, but they look nice. That's all I can really push toward.
All right. I do like the city builder things. I like the different versions of them. But there's a lot of them out there that just don't do it right.
Oh no.
Or try to add too many layers. There's even some out there that just piss me off. Like I have the Mars one, where you're supposed to like colonate Mars.
I remember we talked about it, but
I don't know why, but it just never fucking works. I can never get these fuckers to do their damn jobs. Like, it's a pain. It fucking pisses me off.
I remember you were mentioning how hard it was just to get oxygen.
Yeah, and then you would get the oxygen, and it's like, okay, you have the oxygen, you have the food, now go to work and keep making your food and keep doing this stuff so that you sustain. None of them are working. None of them are doing anything. They're running out, and they're dead. Or they're homesick and they're demanding to go back.
Let me go home even though I just got here. Now, you know how old I am, right?
Yeah, 80, 90, yeah.
About. Back in my good old heyday of just early CD-ROMs, I enjoyed Sierra games. Specifically Sierra games. And Humble Bundle kind of gets that relive of those old classics with King's Quest, Gabriel Knight, and a bunch of others in a very, very strong bundle. For $1, you get Gabriel Knight 3, Time Shift, which is an okay first person, where you get to choose the flow of time and stuff like that. Velocity, which looks entertaining.
Yeah, I have Time Shift. It came out. It was Xbox 360 era.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. It was enjoyable. The mechanics worked pretty well. I mean, it wasn't like stellar, but I mean, I wasn't mad that I own it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seems to have a little bit of time. And Police Quest collection for $1. Now $2 gets you the second. I think it's the second Gabriel Knight one called The Beast Within. Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, Quest for Glory 1 through 5, Schiffling's Arcanum, Steamworks and Magic Obscura, and Caesar 4.
Now, here's an interesting thing. You said $2?
No, $7, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, because it's showing $7.91 on my side. I was wondering if that was a change because of you being a monthly member or something.
No,
but,
I confuddled. I meant to say second tier. And
Gotcha.
then for $12, you get one of my favorite games, Gabriel Knight Sins of the Father. Another one of my favorite games, Phantasmagoria. The whole entire Space Quest collection, which it has its little ha-has, and I guess you have to be of the time to fully get the jokes, but there's some good laughs to have there. Geometry Wars 3, King's Quest, the new season set, which I highly recommend. It's a good throwback. The old King's Quest collection, and Caesar 3.
I've seen Geometry War on a lot of things. I've never played it. Is it any good?
Take Asteroids, but bump it up a little bit more.
Okay. I mean, I like Asteroids. I prefer Galaga, though.
fine and fair. I prefer Geometry Wars. Like back when I got it on PS3, that long time ago.
Oh, that reminds me of a weird thing real quick.
Go for it.
I'm browsing through. They're doing a family sale on Xbox. If you guys want to go check it out, they've got things like Monopoly, Risk, simpler stuff. But I was like, there's no fucking Tetris. What happened to Tetris? Turns out if I want Tetris on the Xbox, I'd have to have a digital code from Japan. That's the only way you can do Tetris on the Xbox One.
What the hell?
And then over on PlayStation, they've got that damn VR Tetris, which is like $60 or $50 or something. And it looks like it's just a headache, seizure-inducing piece of crap.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to fuck with that.
So, yeah, apparently playing Tetris just isn't fucking doable anymore because they just shut down the one on my phone also.
God damn, can we just have things and enjoy them and keep the things we enjoy?
I'm going to have to go dust off the fucking NES to be able to play Tetris.
Jesus. But aside from that, on their regular sales, it's their spring sale, which is pretty fucking big. 56% off of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, $14.99 for Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Game of the Year Edition, Doom Eternal's $40.
Those are all amazing deals already.
Yeah.
And then add in a couple of the other EA things because they've got a small EA one going.
They have.
So that's where Fallen Order falls into place. You get The Sims 4 for $10, Battlefield 5 for $11.99, and Need for Speed Heat for $29.99.
That's actually a really good deal. I heard Heat's not that bad as far as like the latest.
My brother's been playing it, but I haven't picked his brain on it yet.
Yeah, I've been playing Forza. I'm really, really infatuated with Forza. Forza feels good. When you play a car that looks like it can't turn well, it doesn't turn well, and you go, okay, well, I need to figure out how mechanically it can work. And it that kind of picks at your brain for you. It says, hey, you got to slow down in order to turn with this car.
My brother was a big Forza person up until the first Horizon.
Yeah, I would say tell him to get into number 4. This one actually kind of really picks it up.
Okay, I'll tell him to check it out.
Bethesda sale, 2K spring sale, Ubisoft spring sale, Rockstar spring sale, Square Enix, they're all on sale. Let's just put it like that. They're at least a 15% off of pretty much their entire stock, minimum.
And this is just the game stuff.
This is just the game stuff. They're also doing like other type of programming. They even have a new bundle that is set up for music making. Big music for games, films, and content creators. There's even a couple games in that just to showcase, what these products have made. Aside from that, more Warhammer books. If you're wanting more Warhammer books. Not my cup. I want it to be my cup, but I feel like I'm already overwhelmed looking at those two bundles.
Yes, but did you see that the Read the Realms bundle for Dungeons and Dragons is still going?
It is still going, yes. Now that one I am glad to get overwhelmed with. I've read the very first book and I didn't even know it.
That's because you've read too many of them.
I've read too many of them, but when I started digging through it, I was like, oh, I've read this before ages ago. I am on chapter 7 right now, and I was just like, oh yeah, okay, I'll keep going. Like, I'm not going to stop. But it's good to know that everything from my past is coming up right now, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Well, let's go. I'm going to check the May the 4th. Go ahead and finish what you're doing. I'm going to see what the May the 4th sale is looking like.
Well, that's pretty much all I was going to go over. From right now until the 10th, there is a free real-time strategy game that is offered on Humble Bundle called Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. Now, this game has been offered for free a couple times before. Well, not Escalation, I don't believe, but I want to say Ashes of the Singularity. But I do recommend it. It's once again, I'm not much on the real-time strategy, but it did keep my attention for a little bit. But speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, I got a book recently.
Oh no.
I got Matthew Mercer's new Brain Expanse. I got the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. Holy hell. That book is marvelous. It is a DM's right-hand book. If you already have the Dungeon Master's Guide, this one would sit right next to it if you're wanting to build a really nice world, or even use Wildmount, or even Teldoray. It explains so much in such a short time. It is 350
So I wanted to pick
pages.
your brain on something for D&D. You say, oh wait, how many pages? 350?
350 pages.
Oh, gee.
Matt
All the
worked
paper cuts.
hard. And I want to get that shit signed by him.
Well, once all this shit settles down, I'm sure he's gonna do meet and greets again.
I'm hoping. I need to get both of his books signed. I need to get the one for Teldoray, and I need to get the one for Wildmount.
We need better conventions in Vegas, honestly.
I mean, we got one good one.
Yeah, and I enjoy going to it, and it's gonna suck that we're not going this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, one good one with a town with so many convention spaces, like, it's just insane to me. I see such better ones going on one state up from us. You know?
Yeah.
It's just nuts to me. I feel like that
Are you talking
we're a
about
really
the,
untapped market.
The Utah one, or are you talking San Diego?
That it's Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
The Salt Lake City one looks amazing, and I wanted to go about 2 years back because they had a bunch of authors I really liked. They had a bunch of voice actors Lauren really liked. It was like a nice mixture for everyone. And just, financially, we just couldn't make it work. But like, there was just so much going on at it. It's like we could just get lost in meeting all these people all day.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
And not to put down the one we go to every year, because they're getting better year by year. And last year, Lauren got to meet, voice actors she was really excited to meet, and we got to kind of bop around and just talk and meet other people too that were really great, and some nice artists and stuff, like local artists, things like that.
And we did not spend that much money this time.
We did not. Nothing beats the first year I went, though.
Oh,
financially, I spent so much the first year. It was
Same.
I was working a tip job, so it's like every day I worked before the con, and it was like, I've got a whole new pocket full of cash.
Yeah. And it was great.
Yeah. But, no, it's like, we get one horror convention that I know of, and it's not at a good venue, and they don't really update their website and stuff, so it's like they still have advertisements from like 2 years ago, shit like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I feel like we're a very untapped market for that stuff. So, if Mercer ever wants to do a meet and greet, this is a good for it. Someone tell him.
Yeah, get his ass out here. I need these books signed. I will get one of those nice silver Sharpies just to get this done.
That was one of the best parts about meeting Todd McFarlane. He had every fucking color you could imagine to make sure he could pick a color that worked with the cover of your comic.
Oh God. But I just, Wildmount is a great place. Oh my god. Like I'm halfway through it, and I already have ideas for a good campaign.
Now, with everything Mercer's done, everything that Griffin Saddlebags has done,
Mm-hmm.
Does any of this ever inspire you to sit down and create your own and try to do what they're doing?
I kind of am.
Well, I say go for it, because I mean, look at Griffin's just creating items and shit, and I mean, he's got amazing items. I'm using two of his. I just got two of his items in my current campaign I'm doing with a couple people. We were in an underground tomb, and we like an underground. When I say tomb, think like Egypt.
Okay. Okay, like a catacomb.
Yeah, like basically the sand buried it. It wasn't supposed to be buried.
Gotcha. Copy. Okay.
And we go into, we like see a doorway into a room. We realize it's completely covered in web, and that there's a trapdoor spider in there.
Oh.
And one of the guys in my group's like, "I'm gonna light the web on fire." And the DM goes, "That's not how web works." And he's like, "I want to hook and kill this thing." I went, "Hold on, chill." And you know me and spiders. I got fucking arachnophobia, but I'm like, let's talk to this thing. And I'm like, hey, how are you all right? Like, what's going on? And he's like, bring me food. Like, he was hungry. We just killed a guy in the next room over, so we're like, fuck it, give him the body. You know? So I gave him the body. He thanks me. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I mean, is there anything I could maybe get in return for helping you? And he slides forward the spider poison daggers from Griffin's saddlebag. So I replaced my daggers with those, and I kind of talked to him. It was this whole thing that he doesn't have a name. He's been there since the beginning, and these people like kind of invaded his tomb and whatnot, and he's been stuck in there and whatnot. And we're like, well, I can bring you some food. And I asked his name. He's like, no name. I went, all right, you're No Name the Spider. And I brought him some more bodies that we had killed, because we're killing these fuckers because they're bad guys, at least in our minds. Mm-hmm. And now I've got the spider backpack from Griffin's saddlebag, which is really cool. If you don't know how it works, you can stick it to things, and it supports itself. And things have like the ability to like be stored in there without spilling or easily breaking and stuff like that. So if you have like delicate items, you can put them in there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I need to get the Griffin's saddlebag.
Oh, he's got so much great stuff.
I really need to. I need to see if I can get
my character in that. My character in that campaign has 3 Griffin's saddlebag items.
Okay, I will definitely look into it, because I've heard of it. Socks talked about it. Goons mentioned it, and yet I never once dug into it. I looked at the Instagram that they have, looked at one of the items, and I said, that's kind of neat. And then I guess my ADD kicked off, and I just went on another direction. But
yeah, he's got the Instagram, he's got a Reddit, and that's just like the tip of the iceberg of what he's actually got, because he's got a whole Patreon with a book. I think we talked about it on here.
We did.
So,
and I never really dug into it though, which kind of bums me out. And I
think you'd enjoy it.
It looks like I would, and I really want to get the book though. I want to get the physical book, but the Kickstarter I believe just ended not too long ago. So I'm already at a loss for that. I would have to wait until it hits like Amazon or what have you. But I do have an idea for a mostly roleplay, non-combat oriented, like Eldritch horror murder mystery, if you will. I do have an idea around it. I've been kicking it around for a while, and I do have some of the things out there in one of my current campaigns that kind of course, on pause because of this whole thing. But, I mean, it is an idea. It is an idea for me to publish something. It's just hard to get the structure.
You could get there. Yeah, I think you could get there. You just gotta work on it, work on the structure, figure it all out. You want some good news?
Go for it.
If you go to Griffin Saddlebag's page, you can pre-order the book.
Okay. How much is it?
It's currently on sale. You can get the PDF and then the book, because like I said, it's pre-order for $40.
That's not bad.
Now he's got different variations of the book. So there's a variation, it's up from that. It's the deluxe book, which is $80. They're considered late pledges on his website. And then he's got an even bigger collection that's $150, and it just keeps going up $170. Then he's got one where it comes like these adventure packs and the bag and all that shit for $200. There's just all kinds of variations. You can buy all of his little books, $20 each, because they break them down into volumes. You can even get stickers and stuff. So check out his website.
Okay. I mean, I might just throw the 20 for right now, just to get the PDF, just to get it all set and ready, and then I'll still throw the 40 for the book later on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very nice looking book too. They didn't half-ass the book.
No, they didn't. And
but I want to pick your brain about something on D&D though. Since we're talking about Mercer and whatnot. I have a keep in my current campaign. You know, so castle, guard stations, full wall around the property, whole 9 yards, servants' quarters, everything.
Okay.
I got really lucky with a pull from the deck of many things.
Okay.
And we have a library, and it didn't really have any books. And he said, you can go to a bookstore and you can pay X amount, and it'll just, if you guys need a book from that point on, it'll be in your library. And I was like, all right, I get what he's saying. It's an easy way to do it. I'm not mad about it. But then I started like thinking, I want to come up with like goofy names for the books. You know, I want to do things like how not to be eaten by a dragon. You know, stupid shit.
Okay, I get you. Okay.
but then I was like looking, I was like, okay, what books are actually in the D&D world? And everyone's really like, go look at like the books you can find in Baldur's Gate, the game, and that kind of gives you an idea of like what the books in the world is like. It's the same world as regular D&D, basically, stuff like that. And it kind of made me realize that there aren't too many named books in the D&D universe. And then I realized that Xanthar's Guide is something your characters can actually find and physically own in the game.
Same thing for the monster manual. Some of them are halfway full because they haven't discovered those monsters yet, because they are incomplete in their right. Or you can find a fully complete monster manual that is, has all these creatures or fiends in them.
And my question is, how do you feel about someone owning that? If like you were DMing and someone's like, while we're at this bookstore, I want to try to buy a monster manual.
Now, okay. Okay. I'd be like, it's incomplete. And then I would basically put together a very, very medium-sized list of what's in there.
Okay, because I feel like the DM's like ace in the hole is people not knowing everything about the things they're fighting.
See, that's where my mind kind of goes. I'm like, good, do it. I like when you know a lot, but there's a lot of shit you don't know because it's unknown knowledge to everyone, including me. Because even if I did tell you, you wouldn't know what to do with it.
And I kind of run into the issue of having been a DM and knowing the things I know. On our most recent campaign, I walked into a room and a rug wrapped itself around me. And so the first thing I did was instinctively I yelled out to the rest of my group because this is, for the most part, all except one person in my group. This is their two people in my group. This is their first time playing D&D, this current campaign.
Yes.
So I immediately yelled out, don't fucking stab it. Because the last thing I needed was them stabbing through it and killing me.
Yes, because half of the damage that is dealt to the carpet is dealt to you.
And luckily one of them rolled really well on some checks and whatnot, and it was able to basically like Python it off me, like unrolling it, and got it off of me. And then promptly one of our other guys was not eaten, but it closed within a living armoire also. It was basically a room full of
living furniture.
Yeah, what's the word?
Mimic?
Thank you, mimics. Yeah, it was just those two things, but yeah. And so I said it, and then I was like, I don't know if I should have said that because I don't know if my character knows that. And I feel bad whenever I do something like that to my DM.
Metagaming can be a bit hard to not do, especially when you're in the mindset of us. Because there was a couple things I wanted to do when you brought up scarecrows that long time ago. There was a couple things where I was just like, fire is definitely going to work on these guys, but I was like, they're smart, they'll figure it out, whatever.
Thought that was common sense in general, whether it actually works in the world or not. It's a fucking scarecrow. Why wouldn't you try to burn it first?
You're correct, but alas, none of us, except for me, but then again, I'm a cleric. The only fire spell I have is not even fire, it's fucking celestial damage, or what is that damage type called?
I don't remember.
It's holy damage. I'm going back to 3.5. Screw off. But I get it. I do. Having a monster manual would give you the instinctive to know what you're getting into in a certain area. Mm-hmm. Having Xanathar's Guide, which is an already written book, now that one, I would say, is going to be a difficult find or very, very costly.
Well, yeah, I think even in... like when you buy the stuff for Xanathar's Guide Word, I think it even tells you like this is not something they're going to pick up in the store. They need to like go through a bunch of shit to get to it.
Well, yes, and also it's not technically a part of your world unless it's connected to Faerun because it is written in the Thieves Guild of Waterdeep.
Gotcha. Yeah, so like that comes down also to like where your world's set and whatnot. And in our case, this one's a homebrew. But yeah, so it's like when I was dealing with the mimic, my other thought was thinking to myself, well, I can't use poison spray because it's a mimic. Poison resistance, it's pointless. And so I'm running through all these things in my head, and we end up defeating them. But at the end, I was like, I didn't say the poison spray thing out loud. In fact, I messaged the DM silently, and I was like, I remember this about them. if you don't want me saying it out loud to everyone, I won't. And he's like, yeah, keep that to yourself. I was like, done deal. Because it's kind of deciding like what I do and don't know to an extent, because my character's knowledge isn't necessarily my knowledge.
Wait, they're not immune or resistant to poison?
I feel like I think the rug one is, not mimics in general, but the rug version, if I'm remembering right.
I know that they're immune to acid because they do acid.
Maybe that's what it was, and I was just remembering wrong.
Let me find out. I'm getting it right now. It's the rug of smothering.
It's the rug of something, actually.
Rug of smothering. And yeah, you are correct. They are immune to poison.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Okay. Good. I actually never knew that. I knew they didn't handle blind and charm because they didn't technically have any intelligence. That is.
I tried. We had more bodies laying around because of the people we killed, so I tried throwing a body into the rug to see if it would wrap around that after they got me out. He's like, it knows that it's dead, and so it just kind of doesn't do anything when you toss the body at it. I was like, fucker.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I would love to get back into a really good campaign and just kind of just dive for 3-4 hours.
I mean, I personally find that the problem with any campaign is the level that everyone's at in their D&D knowledge, and then adding in how they're going to play their character. Everyone around me is running on very base, low knowledge, while I'm running on a higher one. So sometimes they turn to me and they're like, "What do we do?" And I'm like, "I'm not the leader of the group." So,
I mean, in that sort of instance, though, people would need to look towards someone to basically guide them in what they would do in that scenario, because it's hard to tell. If someone who is kindly, sweet, has to play an angry barbarian, they're kind of brought out, and they might need a little bit more of a push.
Yeah, and then there's other times, though, where they're rushing head-on into something, and the whole time I'm, the other issue with it being over video chat and whatnot, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Hello? Why isn't anyone listening to me? Oh, fucking lag. So by the time my message gets across, the DM's already been like, yeah, you did that. You got swallowed by the giant, Not that that's happened, but an example. And so there's already that disconnect. A sitting and actually playing in person session would be a very different situation from what I'm dealing with. But the other issue I find too many people don't want to actually role play their characters.
That is why I would have a low combat, all role play. I want emotions. Because in the first subset of what I've already got planned out, you're gonna find a corpse in a dresser. It plops out. You don't know this person. You're now dealing with this. Have fun. It's gonna
plops out. Oh, thank God, it's not me. What? What?
Wait, it is you. Dun dun dun. But I want that mentality of, hey, that's a corpse. That is a dead being. Okay, cool. How are we gonna handle this? Oh, wait a minute. This is wrong. And then they begin to just unravel from there. And they begin to panic. Or they, do we put it back?
He's just sleeping. Put him back in.
Put him back in the hole. The stink is fine.
I mean, I'm still having fun with my session, definitely. It was actually really funny because my DM accidentally, and also through just the way we were playing, we accidentally created a new hope basically happening. We go up to this place, we take out the guards outside, we all dress up. There's only enough costumes for everyone except one, but that one is a Goliath anyways, so he wouldn't fit in one. And so I was like, okay, 2 of us in the front, 2 of us in the back, and we'll walk in. And he's like, what are we going to tell them when they ask? I'm like, you're a prisoner we're bringing in. And he's like, and what if that doesn't work? And I'm like, then we kill them. And so then I realized, holy crap, it's a new hope with them being dressed as stormtroopers, bringing in Chewbacca. And so I was like, yeah, then you break out of your chains, quote unquote. And, and then the DM realized what I was getting at. He's like, everything's fine in here, just weapon misfire. How are you? And so it's that funny thing. And then 2 weeks later, we get back together to continue playing. And I end up in a room where the walls are closing in. And some of us are in there, some of us aren't. And I was like, I always thought when I ended up in a room after, disguising myself as a guard, there'd at least be a princess, even if she turned out to be my sister. And it was funny because we accidentally created New Hope.
Jesus Christ.
Although I did piss my DM off. I had done an Arcana check. And he's like, you definitely sense Arcana in the room, but you have to get in the room to figure out more. Because I was doing it from a door. So we go into this room, and then a thing falls down, and the walls start closing in, and we roll initiative, and so 2 guys are trying to hammer on the walls to get us out, and then and there's a guy on the outside trying to hammer on the other wall to get us out, and then there's another person who's on the outside trying to see if they find a switch or anything. Then there's me. I'm the last one to go in the room, and I went, was my Arcana check these walls closing in? And he goes, yeah. And I went, all right, dispel magic.
Because it is magic. Oh my god.
And he goes, oh, you fucking asshole. I'm like, alright guys, we have all the time in the world to figure out the walls.
Jesus Christ, that's great.
And we just hammered our way out of the room, and hammered our way into the treasure room that was off of that room.
You're basically the one who's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to sit down and read a book because I don't have a hammer. And they're like, you can help us with the walls. I'm like, I have a wooden quarterstaff and a longsword. What the fuck am I going to do?
You're the one who's sitting in the background with the Walkman in the thing, and they're all yelling at you, and you finally just remove one ear and go, what?
Pretty much.
What happened?
Well, and then one of our guys goes, can we hurry this up? I don't really like confined spaces. And our DM goes, that goes on your sheet now. He's like, what? He goes, you just made your character claustrophobic.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I was like, you guys gotta watch what you say.
Yeah, there's manias for in the DMG. There's a whole bunch of manias, and I was actually I can work with all of these and make them much, much worse, and actually have some actual detriments. I
feel like the psychological side of things is the side that a lot of people ignore in D&D.
And that's where I want to hit. Where it's I want to go outside. Oh, no, it's nighttime. You don't like the night. You don't like it at all. Time for sleep.
Yeah, you really want to delve into the other side of the game, the side of the game that doesn't get its proper level of attention. But yeah, I just wanted to pick your mind on what you thought about actually owning Xanthar's Guide and things like that in game, and how it worked as a possible break of the mechanics. So
it could, but at the same time, you may find some knowledge to be just unusable. You might be okay, I see what this creature is, I have an acknowledgement of what it is, but when you're face to face with it, you may not be able to use it.
Yeah.
It's
plus it's you can't stop and read the book mid battle.
Yeah. You would have to actually spend the time to read the book beforehand. Mm-hmm. But that actually makes me wonder about something as far as another book, but that's for another time. On to the trailers! Unless there's something else we can talk about.
Just real quick, I looked at the home bundle for Star Wars. This ends in, I think, 14 hours, 15 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
So they've got pretty much all the X-Wing games for about $349 each. They've got...
they had a bundle.
Yeah, they've got a bundle as well. So the X-Wing series bundle is $10.49 if you need all of them. They've got Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy for $349. They've got the Classic Collection for $18.54. They've got the Jedi Knight Collection for $9.19. There's more, singles and stuff like that, but it's a really, really good sale to finish off or start your Star Wars collection. And this brings up something. Do you remember the arcade game for Star Wars where you played through the first 3 movies?
With the single joystick with the thumb button?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I also remember the pod racing
one.
I love
that thing. I would... No, I'm talking about the one for the classics, not the prequels.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying I also remember that one, too.
Yeah, I don't think I really played the pod racing one. But I would love to own that arcade machine.
Okay.
That would be one of those ones that goes in the garage and gets played.
I don't know which one I would want. If I had the space and the time and the effort Probably the F-Zero GX, the one that actually has like the light rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one.
How about a full-blown Dance Dance Revolution?
Now, see, I just don't think that would get enough use. Like, I would like it, sure. It'd be nice. I would probably play it a couple
way
times.
better than those damn rollout sheets that they made for console.
You are correct. I would like to have the metal pad, but there are others that I would be more inclined to get. I'm too old, man.
Oh, I was looking, the Beat Saber's on sale. Well, I think it's on sale on PlayStation. I was like, that would get me in shape, because I've got the VR, and I was like, I don't know if I'd actually use it, though. I'm getting kind of old.
Yeah. We'll play it once, get up a sweat, and be like, I can go for some ice cream right now.
Cut to me, like, playing it while sitting on the couch.
Mouthful of french fries.
Alright, on to the trailers.
So, holy crap. As we are speaking, they are ending off the Xbox Insider, and we've got the first day-ish of what's inside Xbox right now.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and next week we might have a little bit more. Not a heck of a lot, but a little bit more. But I'll start off with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. So, most of these were basically trying to push next generation. They were trying to push the Xbox Series X stylings, and they were trying to say, hey, this is a little bit better looking because it'll be on the Series X. Vampire the Masquerade does not showcase that. It is a little choppy, it's a little grainy, it's not bad as far as storytelling. It starts off strong. It starts off real strong as far as the trailer goes. And I'm kind of looking forward to Bloodlines 2 being a somewhat cult classic, just like its predecessor. Like, I'm actually
I want it to work on the first go, though, not be like its predecessor, where the fans had to fix it for it to become what it did.
Okay, but what's that saying? You can learn from your mistakes if you make it better.
Yeah, and I'm saying that that's what I want.
Okay.
I want them to have learned from their mistakes. I don't even actually think this is all the same people. I think this is a whole new set.
I'm unsure. I know it's Paradox, I believe. I don't know who made the OG, but even still, it looks pretty good. Some of the in-engine stuff looks a little wonky, but we still have a little bit of time before its release. Once again, I'm just going to hold a little bit of faith. I'm not going to say I'm going to get it at launch. I'm not going to say, I'm holding my hopes way up high, because that's saved for something else.
Ba-ba-ba.
But it looks good, somewhat. Yakuza Like a Dragon finally gets its gameplay trailer bonanza, if you will. It starts off strong with some serious notes where what's the name? Ichi goes into jail to take the place of someone who actually committed the crime. He gets let out and kind of gets screwed, and then a medley of very interesting characters and lobsters. I
mean, there's always a little bit of oddness to these games, funness to these games.
There's a little bit every now and again. But I
felt that off the bat this one was going to be more crazy just because of his hair.
A little bit, but it doesn't seem to start that way. It seems to like level up to it. Like as soon as he's let out.
I think he's going to have a breaking point.
Yeah, I mean, when he goes over to his boss and he says, "Hey boss, what's up?" He gets a gun pointed to him by his boss. So,
wait, that's not a normal thing? I need to make a phone call.
Oh.
Now, it looks good. I haven't been a fan of the series nearly as long as you have, so I don't really have an opinion on the gameplay change.
It's going to be a huge shift because it goes from an action style to like a turn-based style, and
yeah.
it is still very much the craziness. You get the suicide drop kicks, you get the crazy here's and there's. I believe it has the same amount of side quests that a regular Yakuza game would have. It's got orbital lasers.
So my question for you then is, does the gameplay change make you want to play it more or less?
Or
no change at all? Like, it's Yakuza, so you're interested.
It's Yakuza, and I'm interested. It does have characters from the original set of Yakuza games. So, I mean, it's a part of the trilogy... quadrality, septality... Franchise. And
saga?
So... no. It's bigger than a saga.
Okay.
But, it's there. Everyone... You see Majima in the trailer, so you already know his crazy ass is gonna be out there with his fucking snakeskin suit. I don't think I'm going to get it at launch. I will wait to see what a lot of people say. I will wait for a lot of numbers to come rolling in before I lean out of my way to get it. Something tells me it's not going to be worth the $60 price tag. It might actually go down to like $40. It's at launch. I am unsure. I'm not going to say anything else.
I feel like a lot of games need to start getting away from the $60 price tag, because I feel like they go with the $60 price tag knowing it's the usual, thinking they can get away with it. But in reality, they're $40 games, and they're just they're just hoping no one will notice. I think game companies need to be more honest with themselves about the value of their games. Yeah. Not saying this isn't worth $60, because I don't know, I haven't played it. But how many games have we gotten for free or on a discount and been like, "This was a $60 fucking game? Holy shit!"
Yeah, you're right. You are correct. And I mean, I'm just saying that. As far as Yakuza, like Kiwami, when that released, it was, I think, $25. And I was like, that is an amazing deal. Because it's a full-length movie and then some, and with action that just continues to push itself.
Was it Monster Hunter that was super cheap?
The new one?
Yeah, the base version.
Oh, the base version is going to be cheap, but if you want Frostborn, you're going to be paying top dollar.
But I mean, like, when it first came out, I think it was like a $30 game? If I'm remembering correctly?
No, I paid full price. I paid $60.
Maybe it wasn't Monster Hunter. There was something that came out kind of in that PlayStation-y. I know Monster Hunter's on multiple consoles, but it's one of those games you look at and you think PlayStation normally. There was something that came out in that vein that was surprisingly cheap. Now I don't remember what the hell it was. But continue. You're just thinking that, maybe this one's not quite where the $60 variants in the saga or the franchise or whatever are.
Unsure until I actually see a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, as you were saying, like Resident Evil 2. When that came out, it was $40. The remake.
Then that one's actually one I would have paid $60 for. That's the interesting thing.
We'll see.
To answer the previous thing, this is being made by completely different people for the Bloodlines.
Copy.
So Bloodlines was originally the first Bloodlines was on Source for the engine, and it was developed by Taraka Games, and then. Engine, The second one is going to be on Unreal Engine. It doesn't say which version. I'm assuming 4 or 5.
It's probably gonna be 4.
And it's got actually a developer and a designer rather than just a designer listed. And it's Hardsuit Labs for the developer and Brian Mitsoda for designer.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's new people that went, we want these, but we don't want what happened before. Okay, Brian Mitsoda actually worked on the previous one. I just looked him up.
So he's just rolling over to help. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming maybe it's his storyline, but Hardsuit Labs, they haven't really done much, it looks like. Blacklight Retribution in 2012 is what's coming up for other games from them.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Let's hope this is like their big win, you know?
Blacklight Retribution was a free-to-play first-person shooter.
Was it good, though?
I only remember playing maybe a brief time a long time ago. I don't recall.
Well, let's hope they do good things.
All right, let's put a little bit of psychokinesis in ourselves. So I love Bandai Namco. They have not released a bad game in the last. I'll say, you know what? I'll be very fair. In the last 8 years, Sure, they did a little bit of the Naruto games, but I was told they were not too bad. Sure, some didn't hit the right notes, but they weren't bad. But this one here, it seems very odd that you're fighting flowers as a psychokinetic individual in Scarlet Nexus.
The gameplay looks really cool. The acting seems pretty on par. The artwork is nice.
It seems to take a couple pages from Code
I'm just confused by why we're fighting plants.
I don't know. Code Vein did remarkably well. It was a very, very beautiful game. I still need to go through it. But this looks super jarring. I don't want to say that it's not uncomfortable, but if they had better heads than a bouquet of mixed flowers, neutral.
It's one of those things where I'm kind of left going, where do I tack? You know?
Yeah. Like, I'm going to remain neutral. I'm all for this just because it looks stellar. There is no... It looks 60 frames a second. This looks in-engine. This does not look pre-rendered. Because it looks just like fucking Code Vein. Just a little bit more pop. I'm here for this.
I have Code Vein. I haven't played it.
I recommend it, but be prepared. It is another Souls-like game. It is a trudgingly difficult game.
Gotcha.
Next up, one that I really don't even... I was actually debating on just saying, you know what, let's not talk about it. Second Extinction, where you and a couple friends, if you want, are dropped down and you fight dinosaurs.
Okay, so now... I booted up this trailer, and you were asking me, you're like, that one looks so bad, doesn't it? And I'm like, I don't know, the guns look fine, the planet looks really nice. I don't think it looks... Oh, I see what you're talking about. And then that's when the dinosaurs came out.
Yeah, the areas look plain Jane. There's nothing that really stands out. The characters look like they're Fallout characters. Like, they don't look very interested. They don't look interested, and they don't look interesting. Like, when playing, like, Bulletstorm, you at least have that voice actor, I forget his name right now, but you have that voice actor going, oh yeah, let's go, you know, tearing through things and being more forward with his actions. This did not give me any of that. Like, I enjoy watching these lizards get blown to pieces. Don't get me wrong, that's always a sight to behold, but when there's nothing that stands out from that, it's just gonna be boring in like a half hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see myself buying this one. If they dropped it for free on like Game Pass, I would try it just to see. But in reality, I don't think I would last very long.
Yeah, fuck it. I give it one shot. But nothing more. Maybe more if it is fun. Maybe I'm wrong. But as far as what this trailer is giving me, I'm not holding hopes. This one I am excited for. I do enjoy puzzle games. I do enjoy having a mythos surrounding those puzzles, having a nice little story given by light narrative.
Shut up. It's because of the fin hands.
It was because of the fin hands at the end. But Call of the Sea really does raise up the idea of, hey, I'm missing my husband. I'm going to go to this very fantastic-looking island to do some pretty good world-shaped puzzles, almost similar to Myst or The Witness. And as you begin to dive around, you get to see that it's a little bit more crazy. And I was like at the very, very end of that trailer, she's swimming and her hands come out and you see they're webbed, and I'm just like, I'm down for this. I am immediately down for this. You cannot stop me.
I even really like the artwork.
The artwork is... Oh, it pops.
It's very colorful, very pretty. And it's colorful in a way that me with the color deficiency can look at it and still enjoy it. Without changing any settings.
Is it strange that it kind of did make me think of Sea of Thieves?
I thought the same thing when I saw the thumbnail.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But then when you kind of dig into it, it looks a little bit more different, but... It's what originally popped to my mind.
Yeah, no, 100%. At first, I thought it was a new Sea of Thieves DLC. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know there was a new one. And then I clicked on it. I was like, oh, that's not what this is at all.
But I am there for that. As for the next one, it's another one I'm pretty excited for. So, the trailer starts off rather simple. A woman getting her... she's pregnant. She's getting her baby checked on through a... what is it, sonogram? Ultrasound, thank you. And she has a nice little happy tear.
I don't know why I had to think about that so hard when I've had one done to myself.
Same. It's just one of those words you don't use on a common.
Yeah.
And it begins to it shifts to a sad cry, and she's in a church praying. She's still pregnant, and it's still rather, strange. Why is she sad crying? And then the world around her kind of changes a la Silent Hill-esque, where everything begins to get this, rust color. And then you have a gentleman with a fine mustache smoking a cigarette. And then I'm not going to give too much of this trailer, because I would actually recommend, if you're listening to the podcast, when you're done, go look up the Medium official trailer. It is kind of nice. It is really relaxing.
A pretty good mustache.
Yeah, it was a pretty good mustache. And then toward the middle of the trailer-ish end, there are these striders walking off in the distance of the little Rust world. And I'm just like, guess what I'm here for? That.
Yeah, I saw those things, and I was like, those are big fucking... what's the word? It immediately made me think of...
Giraffe.
No.
I don't really look like
Kaijus.
Kind of kaiju-y. They're kind of kaiju-y.
Like, kaiju meets Lovecraft.
A little bit.
Like, that's where my brain went when I saw that thing. I was like, ugh, okay.
But this trailer is beautiful. It has... even the official trailer has some, official art. And I'm going to say it's maybe a little bit more of up-rendering, not like a actual in-render gameplay. Mm-hmm. Later on in that trailer, it looks good.
Now, are you able to pull anything from the title to kind of help you further your thoughts on what this game is?
You mean the Medium?
Yeah.
It's basically you play the woman who seems to have these visions. So I'm thinking that she's a medium.
Yeah, that's what the feel I was getting. Some kind of connection to a possible future or something, or a dimension maybe that's merging with ours. I'm not entirely sure.
It seems to be strangely connected, but also, hey, you like that music in that trailer? Guess what? Silent Hill's Akira Yamaoka has worked on that. You have someone who worked on Silent Hill's great music in this game. I'm fucking already here for it. Now I'm even more.
And that just furthers with the whole, when you were talking about how everything kind of has a Silent Hill feel at one point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But now it's time to hit some weird notes in a chorus. Ha 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 ha. Sorry.
I'm stopping immediately. I'm out. No,
that's fine. That's fine.
My last straw. Okay, no, continue.
So the next game is called Chorus, and it was striking me very odd at the beginning, because I was like, okay, cool, another Elite Dangerous, or there's another flying game, but it's a flying game, but it has a story that impacts the pilot, quite hard, and the pilot is taming this thing. It has a mind of its own, an AI unit that's a little on the fritz. It's hard to tell from the trailer, but the flying looks so clean. I'm here for it. I need to see just a little bit more to at least wrap my noggin around it. There's some really nice visuals, some really good clean cut visuals in this. This game looks next gen. This one looks like it's a little further. This one is set for 2021. It is the only one that actually has a time. And also, I just want to make a small note. This is being developed by Deep Silver,
which threw me through a loop.
Yeah, I thought they would
actually. It feels
actually
very different for them.
I thought they'd be working on one of their nice little walk around games, like Dead Island or something. But oh well.
Now, you say this is the one that looks next gen. I do know that they said that a lot of the games that they were going to show were ID games, so the indie games, that they are upping to next gen. They're going to push them to optimize them to next gen levels and stuff like that. So there weren't games that were built for next gen, but games that will be, will get their chance on next gen. So that's why some of these look a little less next gen-y than you would expect.
Okay. All right, I gathered that. But damn, the visuals, they look good. The eyes actually look like eyes. Everything looks good. Facial expression looks good. You could see the tremors on the lips. It looks much more cleaner than LA Noire on the Xbox 360, Just has that little bit more.
Yeah, graphics are definitely getting to some really fun levels, especially when they're using actual actors to help with all that stuff, like pulling in actors and doing the facial recognition and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's not cheap stuff either.
No, it definitely is not.
The next one I'm here for, but I'm not here for, because I don't know what the fuck. So it starts off with I don't even know how to explain it because it's unexplainable horror. So, big creature thingy, give other creature thingy life, and then put it into another creature thingy to try and resurrect thingy, but then it go, okay, and then it open up a flower eye and go, I am alive.
There was also definitely a dripping penis coming out of the wall.
There was definitely a drippy penis. But on a more serious note, it was a lot of unexplainable, grotesque things. Now,
it was also a lot of straight just Alien and Prometheus ripoffs.
Yeah, it is very much a weird, veiny exoskin that stretches or is very amalgamite and very awkward to look at. It is uncomfortable the first time you watch it, I will admit, but as far as my aesthetic, it's around that angle, but I kind of want to know some of what I'm looking at. I don't.
The trailer didn't tell us anything.
It told us
a completely cinematic, completely vague trailer.
So apparently, Scorn is going to be a first-person horror adventure game. Never would I have thought of that in this trailer.
And when you say first-person horror adventure game, is it going to be out like Outlast? You're just running. Is it going to be like Alien, where you're running but you have levels of defense? Is it going to be like Amnesia? What does that mean?
I'm hoping it's like Soma, where at least you feel like you have something to lean toward. But I don't know, man. It looks gross. It feels gross. I just hope it is gross, but not in that way, in the good way.
I mean, is there a good way to this? If there was a dripping penis coming out of the wall, man.
Then yeah, I guess some people want it. I don't
No,
know.
I mean, I always want everyone's projects to work and be what they're hoping for. And if the goal was to confuse and offset you, then I think that they're doing a good job there. The problem is, though, is you still have to sell me,
Yeah, you have to make it. You have to make us understand at least a little bit.
Yeah.
But on to the next. So this next one feels major Call of Duty, but with swords.
Major Call of Duty.
Major Call of Duty. It is very much a tech demo. I'm going to call it that. It makes me feel like it is the PlayStation 4's launch game when it had Shadowfall, Killzone Shadowfall, where it was just showing how pretty the games could be on this. And
yeah, no, I definitely get all that, and I'm also seeing notes of things that grabbed from other games, not necessarily in a stealing way, but the parkour type stuff and the shooting style is very Call of Duty, like you said, but then the grappling thing is very Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal or Bulletstorm, if you want to go a little further back.
I didn't play Bulletstorm, so I will agree, but I have no idea.
Yeah, you basically get little tiny wind powers that can freeze people in the air, and you can pull them toward, push them away. It's similar, very similar.
Gotcha. Well,
and
sounds like it.
And the trailer is in engine. I will say it is. Okay, it looks good in engine. That's great. That's fantastic. But it's not showing us anything new. It is not giving us something that is... how do I want to put it lightly without, sounding insulting? I might just have to hit it on the head. It looks boring. It looks bland. It looks like it's going to be a cookie cutter. It doesn't look like it's bringing anything that is going to be like, oh, hey, you see that game? I mean, yeah, I see the game. It doesn't look like it's anything special. Oh, no. This one's got, and then what is that person going to try and promote with?
Well, and the other thing I noticed is, there was no rhyme or reason. You're just killing shit.
Yeah, a little bit of story would
which is
help.
Fine. I get that, there's going to be levels in games where you're just killing shit, but that's not my problem. My problem is it didn't look like there was any real direction to the game.
No, it's just, hey, move forward, kill thing.
But it even looked like, which direction is forward? There was a doorway to her left she never went through. There was a long stretch forward she could have gone. Instead, she went to the right and then through a different doorway. Where is the structure?
Yeah,
we want open world games, but this doesn't feel like an open world game because of the gameplay style. So what is it? I don't know. Maybe we're being too critical off of just one look, but
it feels like Bulletstorm.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I didn't play, but it definitely feels like something we've seen, just not done right. And I maybe be mean. I don't know. I'll give it more of a chance. I just need more of it.
Very fair. Now, this next game, I honestly thought it was going to be another Cyberpunk, nuanced type of game, considering there was the mutants and the flying crafts and the cluttered city. And I was starting to get down for it, and then I noticed it was an isometric shooter. And then I got kind of bummed out at the start of it, and I started warming up to it. I was just like, oh, this is similar to Fallout 1, Fallout 2, it was like a nice little lean back. And I noticed all the creatures that were a part of this world and how the shooting handled, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm here for this. The Ascent.
The Ascent. I don't typically go for this style of game. It's different when it was the original Fallouts because that wasn't just a top-down shooter thing like this. But I don't typically go for the top-down shooting thing like this. However, if it's got a good enough story, it could possibly pull me in.
Yeah, it looks like it has a nice little wander about where story could be made.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it looks like a very lived-in world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it actually looks like it has some life to it.
Yeah, so it's very possible this could have story that pulls me in.
All right. Next up on the list, however, is just another Dirt 5 was announced. We talked about this last year during E3, Disintegration. I got another story trailer. It actually doesn't. It doesn't change anything from what we already saw, which was the rowdy robot wanted just to fly. It's basically the same with just a little bit more talking. I didn't want to throw that into the mix of what to watch, considering it doesn't change much.
Gotcha.
Still looks good though. I just hope that it doesn't end up like Anthem, because it. Not gonna lie or sugarcoat it, it kind of looks like Anthem.
I mean, a lot of stuff kind of looks like Anthem, and it's a little scary.
Yeah, I'm afraid now. I don't want anything going too hard on making me want to buy it or want to play it just to screw me over again.
Well, no, and I completely agree, because people I knew were hyping Anthem up, dude.
I was.
you were hyping Anthem up. I mean, if anyone's, they've listened long enough, they've heard Piper on here before. He was like the first person that talked to me about Anthem because he was part of my Destiny crew. And then my friend James came into the fold on wanting Anthem as well. And then their enthusiasm slowly petered out as we didn't hear anything for a while. And then the game came out, and none of us could afford it. Thank God. Because it was a fucking hot mess.
A hot mess, you say?
I feel like that's putting it nicely.
Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, wow.
So, when I look at anything that emulates Anthem, I try to tell myself it's not emulating Anthem, it's emulating Destiny. And while there's been the downsides to Destiny 2, there's still a lot of good sides to it. And so I'm hoping it's inspired some good things.
Yeah.
But
I just finished watching the secondary trailer, and I mean it as said, yeah, it was pretty much the same. But I was like, I see all these things coming out of a subway, and it's like all these little robot humanoid with guns on them. And I'm just like, you know what this could be? What this would be better as? A Terminator game.
I mean, I've never really, like, other than like old things, like you're talking like classic gaming consoles. I didn't play any of the Terminator games that came out on next gen consoles, the 360 and stuff like that. I never played anything like that. And even now, the most I've done is like he's shown up in things like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. My question is what exactly would a Terminator game be?
I mean, if it was that, I'd be down for that. Like, it's just... It's just, I would hope the story can keep my draw, I don't want to be the one sitting in the back going, I don't like Terminator because, the timeline's always fucky-wucky. I can't keep doing that. I want to sit there and I want to learn and I want to enjoy. I want to fix what I don't like about it.
You know what I want a Terminator game to be?
What?
I want you to be a human who's got John Connor level of intelligence, and at the moments of holy crap, I am a terrible nerd. I'm spacing on the name of the company.
Skynet?
Thank you. The moment Skynet's launching and everything like that, you get into one of their facilities and you basically take over a small fleet, small army, whatever, small regiment of the original T's, and you send them out on different missions and stuff like that, and you have to control them. Like, storyline, you're this guy, but you're actually playing as the T's, and you're going around saving people and taking on the other T's and stuff like that. I think that would be cool. And you have to worry about the amount of damage your T's are taking and like repairing them and shit like that. And then you don't have to get Schwarzenegger's rights because they don't need skin because they're not going and hiding themselves amongst the humans.
Yeah, so you're just using the exoskeletons.
Yeah. Not that Schwarzenegger would be like a difficult person to get the rights from. He loves doing those movies. He loves the character. But I feel like that would be enjoyable because it's very much the problem is you don't want it to be the movies because we've already seen the movies. We already played the movie games on old consoles. You know the outcomes. You know the twists and turns. And they're going to be a little lackluster. It's got to be something set within the world, but with an added level that the movies don't have. An added level that the movies don't need at that. This level's only needed due to the fact that it is a video game.
I feel like that would also make a couple people, not a whole lot, but it would make a few people upset that they'd be like, you're changing the narrative that much? No.
Very true. And that's always the risk about doing any kind of adaptation or branching, extending the stories, things like that. I mean, it's like when they did the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the TV show, they were like, we're gonna make this, and the showrunner's like, and I decided I don't like T3, so it doesn't exist in this universe. And it's like, wait, you can't just do that. Like, that's not how that works. It's a weird touchy thing whenever you have to come up with a game like that.
Yes.
Was that it for trailers?
That was the vast majority. We will have more next. I'm hoping we'll have a lot more next week. I think we'll only have, as of right now, I only have 2 more for next week, but I will save those for next week.
Well, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do your jingle.
Ba-da-bup, shoe news.
So, you were saying we had already touched on this one at one point.
We touched on the earlier exclusives, but there is the new ones because they are expanding with the NBA 2K20 KD13 Funk. Now, these just look like a Panama shirt on a shoe.
Yeah, they're wild. I kind of like it.
They're wild. I kind of like it, but I would prefer the colors to be a little less olive and a little more taupe, if you will.
This would definitely be something I would be okay with wearing if I played basketball or I did sports, regularly worked out, things like that. This would not be an everyday shoe, though.
No, because it's literally bananas.
Yeah. Granted, I'm the kind of person that'll wear a Hawaiian shirt if I can find the right design.
No, I don't think the audience understands. There are bananas on this shoe.
Yes, there are. What are those white things?
The white thing, I think they're like garlic. Either garlic or like some form of like really closed up flour. It doesn't seem to have anything too excessive on it. It's not doing anything too crazy. It's got hints of pink here and there, but the main color scheme seems to be this nice neon green that goes down along the sole that has a nice fade of black with that little dot of that pink I was talking about. The swoosh that's still neon green with the nice hint of pink on the bottom, and it kind of has this upholstery of a Panaman shirt or otherwise all across the main, and then of course the neon green for the shoelaces.
You know what
and
takes me out of this shoe?
The pink?
No, not the pink.
Okay.
So it's at the top where your foot goes in.
Okay, I see it.
You've got like an inch of this like black material that goes around, kind of like your ankle support area.
Okay.
And it's like, it just doesn't work with the rest of the shoe. It doesn't work with the tongue. It doesn't work with the swish. It doesn't work with the print, the shirt print that's coming up to it. I would have just continued the shirt design or made it like the tongue color or the swish color.
Okay.
Like, I find it weird. It feels like they ran out of material. I'm like, crap, what do we have? That works, and finish the shoe.
All right. I mean, yeah, I could see that being a little bit more there and a little bit more actual than the black. But for $150, that's not too bad though.
These just came out
The 4th.
3 days ago. Yeah. So, not bad. You probably still get a couple pairs then, especially with stores being, shut down and stuff. They're probably not going nearly as quickly as normal.
Nope, and they're selling for $175 to $240 on eBay if you're trusting on eBay. They're cutting down on fakes and frauds, so good news on that.
That brings me to something I want to talk about today.
All right, hit me.
You cannot buy a Nintendo Switch right now unless you want to get the Lite.
That is, well, really? Why? Wait, well, hold on, why?
They're completely sold out.
Really?
Every shop does not have them. Nintendo doesn't sell them directly from their website. When you go to the buy section, it takes you to a list of shops: Walmart, Best Buy, Target, GameStop, EV Games, things like that. They are all sold out, both online and in person.
Oh, no.
And there's a couple reasonings behind this. Reasoning number one, people got stimulus checks, people on unemployment that's paying a little more than normal, and they're going out and buying things they want.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Reason number two, someone built a bot that lets you know whenever one is delivered to a store so that people can immediately buy it.
Oh, that's bad.
And reason number 3, there's a company that is trying to sue Nintendo, stating that they stole the controller design. This is the second time they have tried to sue them over this controller design. The first time it was thrown out of court. I don't know why they're going again. They're saying Nintendo infringed on the patent or whatever, and they are trying to freeze sales of the Switch in the US. So right now, you can get the Lite on Amazon. You can get the Lite in several stores, but you cannot get the regular or the gray and black or any of the packs where it comes with games or anything of the Switch. So if you want the one where you can actually use the Joy-Cons and play on your TV, you can't get it. But the people that have bought them bought the $299 console and are selling them on Amazon and eBay. I can't believe they're getting away with it on Amazon, but they're selling it on Amazon for about $548.
Do you find that to be fair?
No. I mean, you technically have the right to sell your personal stuff whatever price you want, but when you go through and purposely buy out a market to force the price of the item so that you can sell it higher, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are a huge dong. I believe we had a brief conversation on here about the guys who bought the hand sanitizer.
Well, and touching on that, guess what I saw when I was at work today?
Hand sanitizer.
No.
Oh.
On the side of the road, 2 people sitting underneath a canopy selling packs of disposable face masks. 50 packs. You know, the ones that we're being told not to use because the doctors are in desperate need. Selling each box for $40.
Wait. The N95s?
Just the simple ones.
No, they're needing the N95s. They need the actual medical grade N95s. I mean, sure, the nice half cotton, half polyester, the ones that are just easy to acquire, those ones are fine. But if you want medical grade, oh yeah.
Okay, but they're selling these things. I mean, they're a pack of 50. They're selling them for $40 on the side of the street because they're, cashing in on the pandemic craze and whatnot. And
that's actually not bad.
I just can't believe that they're doing it. But no, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with what people are doing with the Switch. And so, reports are that Nintendo's going to, get on top of this as soon as possible. We'll probably start seeing consoles regularly showing up in stores again, probably June or July. But yeah, you just cannot get a regular Switch right now unless you want to get the Lite.
Yeah, I would like to have a Switch now, but funding, even as an essential worker that's getting everything, it's still a pain in the ass.
No, it is, but it's just like, even if like you got a bonus from work or hazard pay from work or anything like that, and you're like, I'm going through a tough time right now, I want to treat myself to this. These fuckers have bought them all out and are selling them at almost twice the price.
Yeah, that's still a problem.
So, actually more than twice. A $299 console. No, okay, about twice the price.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it infuriates me. I can't believe it's being allowed. I feel like Amazon and eBay should crack down on this stuff a little bit more. Like, obviously you want to let people sell their stuff for whatever price they want, and people have every right to pay that price or not pay that price. But when it's something this severe where they're purposely clearing out the market like this, I feel like there should be rules in place.
But, of course, those rules are going to get easily broken.
Yeah.
But I get you. I do. And I hope that this comes through in a positive light. And I hope that come June, July, we get our Switches back in. Hopefully, maybe, just maybe, at a discounted cost.
And I know a lot of people are probably sitting there going, you mean to tell me that during this time you're worried about a console? That's not the case at all. It's how the people are being that really bothers me. Yeah. I mean, I don't need a Switch. I'm perfectly fine without a Switch. I've lived without a Switch for the last 3 years that it's been out. Like, yeah.
I would love to have a Switch right now because Animal Crossing. Oh man, I really want to play it. I really want to have a good time with Animal Crossing.
I want to get lost in Breath of the Wild, and Lauren wants to play. Let's go, Eevee.
I wouldn't mind a Pokemon game. I wouldn't mind playing Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't mind playing Smash. Like, there's a lot of Switch exclusive games that I really want to lean forward and...
Oh, that's the console you can get fucking Tetris on.
Shit.
Fucking bastards. I was confused when they were like, yeah, you have to have this code from Japan to be able to play it on the Xbox. I was like, it's a Russian game. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, so...
Oh, wait, does Nintendo own the rights to...
No. What's weird is the one on my phone was EA. I don't know who did the one for Nintendo, and I don't know who did the one for PlayStation. I think it's one of those things where like, it gets shopped around a lot. So... now, you've got one more news story in here. Which is the big Star Wars news.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and hit that.
So, I love Taika Waititi. He is a great director. He's a somewhat good actor. I like him as an actor. But he announces that he's going to be working on the next Star Wars movie. I'm here for it. I am beyond here for it. I am excited for it.
So he's directing and co-writing. The other writer is Christy Wilson Cairns. She's the one that wrote what was it called? The War. It was a war movie that just came out. It's the date. I always forget it. 1712. 1917. That's what it was. I was way off. 1917. So she just wrote that, and everyone says it was fucking amazing. I haven't seen it yet.
I caught a glimpse of it in another area. It does look very entertaining.
And she also worked on Penny Dreadful during, I think, season 3, and then she's done a bunch of like short film stuff. So she's got some decent projects. So I'm kind of excited to see what she's going to bring to this. And I mean, Waititi's already a good writer and good director, so the two of them together writing on it, I hope they work together well as a team, and I'm very excited. I'm always excited for more Star Wars. There's also someone that's going to be... I already forgot her name, and I feel like a total asshole for it. But there's someone else that's going to be doing another Star Wars show, and it's going to be centered on a female character. And they're saying, expect a lot of martial arts.
Okay.
So, lots of Star Wars. It's going to take a while. We're very far out on getting it.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that this is announced. This is going to be real.
Yeah.
Good hype.
So do you remember when Jojo Rabbit was coming out and you were very like, ooh, I don't know how this is going to do. A little worried.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's like, hey, do you want a movie about Hitler? Ever?
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. We had Kung Fury.
Yeah.
And
then
it was okay. I liked it. It hit a little things on the nose. I was like, okay. And then I watched the I don't think it was a Red Band trailer. I think it was just like an extended trailer, and it got me to fucking laugh. And I was like, it's very rare to have a trailer just make me go, okay, that got me.
Well, it was at the 92nd Academy Awards, and it received 6 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. It won Best Adapted Screenplay, and at the 77th Golden Globes, it was nominated for Best Motion Picture and Best Actor. So I feel like we went, Hitler, and everyone else went, Hitler? You know?
I guess you're right. I mean, I'm interested in it. I just haven't had the time or chance to see it.
No, neither have I. It won all kinds of awards, too. It doesn't stop there. It won a British Academy Film Award. It won American Cinema Editors Award, an AACTA Award. It goes on. He really fucking cleaned up on this one, Hollywood Critics Association. So he's kind of showing his strengths and comedy between Thor Ragnarok and that one, while also having notes of seriousness. So it's making me wonder if this will be a Star Wars movie with a little bit more of a comedy. Like, Star Wars movies are already funny, you know. Aren't you a bit short for a Stormtrooper Scruffy, I've never heard her, things like that. But I'm wondering if this is going to be a little heavier on the comedy. Or maybe that's where his co-writer comes in, because she just did a serious war movie. Maybe she's going to help with like the serious notes. I don't know.
Or, I mean, YTD could do some serious. It's just you gotta have a little bit of time to laugh, because Thor Ragnarok was a pretty action-filled movie, but it had its funny moments.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the comedy. I'm just really curious to see
like how far.
How far? I'm really curious to see what interesting combination concoction comes out of this team up and out of him taking on a property that has been known to have its very serious moments. He directed an episode of The Mandalorian. He did great.
He even acted in it.
Yeah, he's the voice of the robot. He's the voice of the robot. And then, speaking on that, they've announced a couple of the people that directed parts of the second season. Robert Rodriguez directs an episode in the upcoming season of Mandalorian.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I'm excited for that too. I'm getting ready to just binge watch everything that's been just coming out. As soon as it's done, the Demon Slayer. What the fuck is it called? The Demon Slayer movie, The Infinity Train, is going to be popping out, and as soon as it gets in English subtitles all squared away, oh, you bet your ass, I'm going to pay for any single streaming service that it is on. I am definitely going to hit that.
Yeah, we've got a lot that we need to stream, especially with the added downtime. What we've been doing, though, is every Friday there's a new... Joe Bob's doing his second season.
That is correct. I've heard about that.
So every Friday he's doing 2 films.
On Shudder, yeah?
Yeah, and so last week Jericho was on. Jericho sang a song.
Cool.
It was fun. So what we're doing is, me and Lauren are treating it as our movie night. We get she makes popcorn, we get some snacks, we act like we're going to the movies just on our couch. A fun little thing during this weird time in life.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly over there to be like, hey, I need movies to watch because I'm movie illiterate. But I have been watching a lot of things, though.
Did you finish Dresden Files yet, bitch? So you give me my discs back?
You want me to give you just your discs back? Because I'm not sure.
It's alright. I understand. It's not nearly as good as the books.
Yeah. But no, I've been watching a lot of DuckTales.
Yeah, we were talking about that last episode.
Yeah,
we talked about. You sent me some photos of some of the references and stuff too. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, if you dig into if you go onto my my profile on Disney Plus, you'll just see that there's maybe 40 something episodes that I've watched over the last week.
I mean, I say go for it. When it launched, me and Lauren were sick when it launched, so we pulled out the hide-a-bed downstairs, and we just laid there miserable, and just binged Disney. Classic DuckTales, Doug, a bunch of the movies we hadn't seen in a while. Simpsons, a lot of Simpsons. We just went hard on just binging the shit out of things. So I mean, it's what you gotta do sometimes. It's good for the mental health.
Yeah, just to sit and unwind.
So, have you listened to the sound I sent you?
The Xbox startup sound.
Yes, the new Xbox Series X sound.
And I guess it's a sound.
I think it's nice and all. I feel like it's a little long.
I mean, you're going to be waiting for your machine to boot up anyways.
You're very, very true. You're right there. I'm so used to the current one that the idea of a new one is just weird to me. And it's very different from the current one. It's like, at least with PlayStations, I still got a bit of a feel for PlayStation each time. I mean, nothing will beat the PlayStation 2 sound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, even the PlayStation 1 sound is super nice.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else before I go on my rambling rant page of my news stories?
No.
All right. So I am up to date on AEW. The new episode last night, I think it was amazing. A lot of fun. A really good match. You had Jericho and Sammy Guevara, who he calls a Spanish god, and he calls himself Le Champion. So they were Les Sex Gods as their tag team against Kenny Omega and Broken Matt Hardy.
Okay, I forgot that Matt came back.
And Matt went through costume changes. At one point, Jericho drags him out, and when he comes back, he's Matt. He's not Domesticus. And at one point, he ends up being put in something, and when he as Matt, when he comes out, he's Domesticus again. There was a lot of like using the environment, using tables and chairs and stuff. A lot of fun stuff there. Kenny and Matt did a poetry in motion.
Oh.
So a lot of good stuff there. Nyla Rose had a match with a newbie to the company. She's 18. She's very new to AEW. She's been in wrestling since she was like 14 years old. And I realized something watching Nyla. She is a hard hitter. She did a lariat that immediately made me think of JBL.
Oh, clothesline from hell.
Yeah, she hit her hard. And at one point, she jumped off the top ropes and like brought all of her weight down on the girl. So,
I guess selling at its finest.
Yeah, I don't know how much there was a level of selling and how much Nyla might need to dial it back before she hurts someone. From my understanding, she's hurt people in the past.
Shit.
So my mind's going to early Goldberg and Ultimate Warrior watching this, going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, you know, thinking about what happened to Bret Hart getting kicked in the damn face and just falling apart after that, you know. But other than that, it was all in all good. Saw some good stuff from Cody over the last couple episodes. Jericho's doing some fun stuff with the Bubbly Bunch, which is his inner circle, doing stupid little videos on their phones
such a
during
good
the quarantine.
That is, God.
So
I was not expecting the Bubbly Bunch.
So like 2 episodes ago, they did like a Flim Flam challenge, and then this episode they did the Manitoga Brawl or Manitoga Beatdown or something like that. And Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith were in it. Lou Ferrigno was in it. A couple other famous people were in it. But it ends with Vicky Guerrero.
Are you kidding
And I'm just glad she didn't yell, "Excuse me," which, by the way, is the name of her podcast.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I tried to listen to a couple episodes of her podcast. I kind of hope it gets the boost it needs, because right now it sounds like she's just recording her Skype chats, so the audio quality is a little rough. But I want good things for it. You know, I love Vicky and how like the effect she's had on the
wrestling community.
Thank you, community. That was the word I was looking for, the wrestling community. But all this kind of brought to light. I was kind of looking, and I was like, what's Vicky been up to? I haven't seen Vicky in a while. And apparently, she hasn't been used at WWE in like 2 years. She decided to start the podcast. She was talking to them about doing work with their superstars for interviews, and they were all for it. And then she did an AEW dark match a couple months back. And when word got back to Vince, suddenly WWE is not talking to her. They're not returning her emails. She's not getting anything scheduled with their superstars for interviews on her show. And so it seems like WWE turned their back on her because she did something with AEW, which is weird because it's like you've seen people work the independent circuit and work New Japan Pro and stuff like that, and it's never been a problem. And it kind of makes you stop and go, wow, maybe AEW really is a threat to Vince if he's going to act this way to someone that's been part of his company for how long?
I mean, didn't he do that like toward the very beginning? Like, be petty.
I honestly don't know. I don't watch WWE anymore, so I mean, it's very possible. But then Vicky shows up in the end of the Montreal thing, and not Montreal, Manitoga thing, and so I was like, you know, I'm glad that AEW is still doing stuff with her, and they're showing their support and love.
Yeah.
You know. Definitely go check out the matches. At least check out the highlights. There was some good stuff with the golf cart. You know, it was a very well done episode. There's a wrestler called Shug, and he always wears pineapple stuff, and so Jericho calls him Pineapple Pete, and so now he's adapted that he's Pineapple Pete also. He may have already been Pineapple Pete, but that's like what I'm gathering from it. And it's this weird thing. Jericho does not like him. It's not last night, but like the previous like 3 or 4 episodes, Jericho was on commentary, and he'd be talking, and anytime the camera showed him in the crowd, because he was one of the audience members during this, he'd just be like, yeah, no, that was a really good clothesline. Oh, there's Pineapple Pete, look at him, that fool.
Oh my god. Jericho is one of those heels that you just want to keep being a heel.
Oh, he's so good. MJF has actually been an amazing heel. He was gone for a couple episodes, and so he did some videos at his house where he was like, yeah, I got a really bad hangnail, and that's why I haven't been in, and it's just starting to heal now. And then he's like, okay, it healed, and my doctor says now it's the strongest nail he's ever seen, and he's just being this pompous ass, and it's working amazingly. The other thing, all the wrestlers that are in the audience are taking videos and putting them on Twitter and stuff. So if you follow their Twitter community, there's like so much more to it. So one of them's recording part of the match, and MJF standing next to him and starts making comments and is like getting into the video and everything. And Britt Baker's standing there, so the guy pans his camera over and he's like, here's Britt Baker. She turns and she waves, and MJF kind of like ducks under the guy's arm to pop back up into the camera and goes, did you guys know she's the dentist? And then she pops back down to disappear back out of screen. And there's just a lot of really good going on over there, and so I think everybody needs to go check out AEW, because I feel like they're handling how to do things without an audience the best, especially after what I saw for WrestleMania. I'm going to do that in fucking quotes for WWE.
Yikes. Yeah, WrestleMania was not great.
And you know, what kills me is you can't even say, well, WWE hasn't, had to do things not live, because that's not true. They weren't live until WCW forced them to go live by going live. All their shows were pre-taped. Yeah, they were in front of a live audience, but I mean, you can still, fudge the footage a little bit. This is not something new to them. They should be handling it better. But there's a lot of fun over there, and I just think, people should go check it out if you're a wrestling fan.
I recommend AEW all day, every day.
You need to get caught up, though.
I do. I'm
Stop watching DuckTales. Watch AEW.
No more DuckTales. Woo!
All right, a couple other things. We talked about DC Universe for a little bit, and then we kind of ignored it because it was like, I'm not going to pay for that.
So why are we bringing it up again?
Because they are now doing a rewards program.
Okay, is it worth it?
Kind of.
Hit me.
So it's for being active in the community that they have. They have a fandom community, because while it's a streaming service and a digital service, it's also a cosplay, a comic book, TV show, movie discussion service. They try to build a whole community. And so they're doing a thing where you get reward points for being active, and you can cash them in for different things like a 30-day premium DC Universe subscription. So it pays for the subscription. Or limited edition Harley Quinn supervillain pin sets and things like that, which is kind of cool. You earn tokens. It's like a whole thing that's actually kind of cool. Excuse me. Sorry. Some of the other stuff: digital movie redemption via Movies Anywhere, DC Artist Alley Batgirl White and Gold, bunch of different kinds of T-shirts. There's a lot of stuff you can cash in for, including just straight up gift cards, $5, $10, $25 DC off of DC purchases. So I guess technically gift cards isn't the correct term, but like a coupon in a sense. So there's a lot of really cool stuff there. It's just, do you want to go and do it? If you're active enough, you could probably weasel yourself not having to pay for the first 2 months, because your first month is free, and then be super active and then cash in for that 30-day premium DC. So I don't know. I more bring it up for anyone that has it and maybe hasn't noticed that they're doing the reward thing.
Okay.
Because I just don't see myself getting that. Just like I don't see myself getting HBO Max.
Yeah, I also no. There was something on HBO Max that I said I would get it for, but I don't recall. I guess it wasn't that important.
I guess not. Next, I have Andy Serkis is going to do a live read of The Hobbit, the whole fucking book. It'll be 10 to 12 hours. They're calling it the Hobbitathon. It starts May 8th, so tomorrow, Friday. It will be to help benefit charities during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is kicking off at 10 a.m. GMT. So that's 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific, because he's over in the UK. So it'll be helping UK nonprofits, NHS charities together, and Best Beginnings. I'm just not seeing where it will be. Is it going to be directly through his Twitter? Hold on. I don't know if you can do that long of a stream on Twitter, but it's looking like it might be on his Twitter. And the photo he posted was like Gollum sitting there with a headset on, leaning into a mic, holding a dead fish in his hand.
Is he really going to read it as Gollum? Oh, no.
I'm assuming he's going to read the Gollum parts as Gollum, and Gollum's in the book.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just... Oh, no. Maybe he reads the whole entire... The habits is touch the people.
Yeah, it doesn't say... Oh, there's a thread. Maybe it says in the thread.
I was just memeing. I know he's not going to read that entire
No.
book.
I mean where the damn stream is.
Oh.
I'm saying it doesn't say. Okay, it'll be posted on his GoFundMe page.
Okay.
There we go. That's what I was trying to figure out. Because I was like, where's he streaming it at? I don't think you can stream for 12 hours on Twitter, so I would have to be like Twitch or something. It's on his GoFundMe.
Okay.
You had mentioned this. You had like a reaction to this. There's a new alien, green and purple alien suits in GTA, which the boobs in it make me a little uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, it's basically one of those skin-tight latex suits.
Yeah, it's the morph suits.
Morph suits.
And it's bringing on an alien war in GTA. It's free if you guys gonna go get it on the GTA Online. But you said that there's a lot of videos of people getting pulled out of their vehicle by like 3 or 4 of these guys and getting their asses whooped.
They come out of nowhere and then, I just got my ass kicked by 6 aliens. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, that's pretty much the whole thing of... Holy crap, there's aliens pulling people out of vehicles or coming out of vehicles just to kick some ass and then walk away.
See, that's actually hilarious to me. I hate the guys that just fly above the map with the fucking jet bombing everyone. But if I got jumped by like 8 aliens, I don't think I'd be able to stop laughing. Even if it did fuck a mission up for me.
Well, of course, anything that makes you laugh, you feel better for.
Yeah. I was watching a video the other day. A guy gets pulled out of his car in GTA, and they're starting to whoop his ass, and then out of fucking nowhere, a vehicle just plows through the people that are whooping his ass, and he's like, okay, and moves on.
Lucky me.
A new Netflix project, The Old Guard. It's being adapted into a Netflix TV show. It's an Image comic based. It's from Greg Rucka and Leandro Fernandez, and it's going to have Charlize Theron. Yeah, so she's going to be playing one of the main characters, and she's like this immortal being, and she's got other immortals on her side. They've spent countless lives fighting, and so it's kind of interesting.
I'm already down for this.
She's got black hair in it. So it's a different look for her after doing like Atomic Blonde and stuff like that. I'm trying to see. It doesn't list the other actors, which kind of pisses me off.
Let's face it, they're all fucking nothing compared to Charlize.
She is pretty awesome. But it looks like it might be pretty cool. I'm always looking for a good Netflix binge, so keep an eye out on that one. So it's called The Old Guard.
Got it.
Other Netflix news.
Okay.
So Tiger King's a big thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They announced that they're going to do a scripted show.
Okay.
And they casted Joe Exotic.
You can't see it, but I just rolled my eyes as hard as I could.
But I thought you loved Nicolas Cage.
I'm done.
Uh-oh.
I'm done.
Did I kill you?
Fucking done. I stayed up for this shit. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, no, Nicolas Cage is going to play Joe Exotic.
Okay, I mean that's not too bad. I mean, if Weird Al Yankovic can play Ted Nugent in Reno 911, I think Nick Cage could do Joe Exotic.
And then my last two things. One of them is Nicolas Cage connected.
Right.
So producer Jeremy Bruckheimer has confirmed a few things. We're going to get a National Treasure TV series for Disney Plus with the younger cast. It's going to be, I think, geared towards children a little bit more. But Bruckheimer says we're certainly working on one for the streaming, and we're also working on one for the big screen. So hopefully they'll both come together, and we'll bring you another National Treasure, but they're both very active. So we are still getting number 3 with Nicolas Cage.
I still feel like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego is a better teaching experience than National Treasure, but okay.
A National Treasure isn't necessarily supposed to be a teaching experience, though. It is fiction.
Okay, you're right. But
I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was okay. I'm kind of hoping with the amount of time it's taken to make 3 that 3 turns out better than 2. But there was still a lot. Like, you take the treasure portion out of National Treasure, like everything else about it is amazing.
The espionage.
The espionage. Sean Bean not dying.
In one of the 2 movies that he doesn't die in,
right? But his quotes about the Declaration of Independence, the different things about the creation of daylight savings. So there's just little things throughout all of it. Plus, just seeing some of those historical locations was really cool. So, I just hope that 3 is better than 2. I enjoyed 2. Just,
I actually don't remember very much of those movies.
I got them both.
I would bet, but it's just I'm trying to remember. I remember one part of them trying to steal, I think it's the Declaration at that point, was him trying to get into a passworded door, and he was like, no, double keys, blah, 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 gotta use this, that.
Yeah, so basically he reads the letters off She Touched to the guy, and he puts it in his computer, and he's coming up with all these non-realistic words.
And then just immediately goes, he double-pressed a couple keys, and then just immediately comes up with, what was it, Liberty Bell?
No, it's Valley Forge.
Valley Forge?
I've watched that movie far too many times.
Jesus Christ. But even still, it was just like, okay.
It kind of spoke on that connection that the two of them have, though, for history, and which is why they become a couple by the end of it, and are a couple in the sequel.
Sure. It's just the fact that it was okay, Saturday morning jumble, chill.
Everybody's got to have a hobby.
Fair.
Now, I liked a lot of parts of it. It brought a lot of our history. Talking about the letters that Franklin wrote to his brother under the fake name and all that stuff. And I kind of hoping that with the TV show that maybe it'll be geared towards history a little bit more and not just the fantasy side.
Yeah,
so that kids will learn from it.
I definitely hope so too, because American history, as very strange as it's been over the last 350 odd years, is still something very interesting to listen to. Is still something very. It's still good to learn. Now, did I learn it? Fuck no, I didn't. Would I be able to learn it? I would like to. I was
go back through it. I was a history buff in school. History was my thing. I hated government because it was I get that's necessary, but it was it's just not what I'm. I like our history. I don't like the politics of our history. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. You can what happened during that time. You just don't need to like the people during that time.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's the sitting there and listening to someone drone on about checks and balances got boring. Especially when them talking about it, you can tell how much they aren't into what they're talking to you about. So
fair.
But yeah, so more National Treasure. I'm also excited just to hear more projects for Disney Plus. Keep the originals coming in because that's what we need. My last 2 things. Don't forget, everybody, to grab your free game over at the Epic Games Store, Death Coming.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. It looks like a nice little fun game.
We can't update you, though, on the next one, though, because it's a mystery game and won't be announced for another 6 days, 11 hours, 24 minutes, and 10 seconds. 9 seconds. 8 seconds.
So in short, it'll be ready for the next podcast.
Yeah, just in time.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about the new Sims expansion?
No, me and Sims don't really get along.
Well, there's a new expansion, and they originally kind of teased it by putting a photo of a wind turbine, and people immediately thought it was going to be country living. Turns out it's actually eco living, and it's this dirty place becomes clean, and all the stuff that all the things you get for it are eco stuff, and it's an eco one. And people are pissed because after tiny living, they feel like it's not an expansion, it's a DLC at expansion price.
Why are we still here?
I don't know.
Just to suffer.
And my last thing is Polygon did a nice little article that people might want to go and check out. It's Dungeons and Dragons dice are more beautiful than ever and a big business.
Who did you say did this? Polygon?
Polygon. You want me to send you a link?
I would love the link. Give me the link.
All right, I'm going to drop that right now for you.
Because, I'm always in the market for new dice, even though I've got 20 sets.
Well, you may not be able to buy some of these. For instance, we've got a fully titanium set here for $344.
Plus
solid
shipping.
Titanium. Plus shipping. They've got some very nice things in here, though. They've got the whole kind of... Artisan Dice did a bunch of the photos. And they've got some Twitter links that you can check out as well to see some people's other things. Which ones are you looking at?
I'm looking at the very, very bottom one from Theron of Cozy Gamer Dice Shop. I'm a sucker for fucking galaxies.
Yeah, those ones are really nice. They got some nice videos on here too to show you some of the different dice and talk about them. So anyone that's wanting to get their D&D dice sets that has the money to spend or just wants to drool a little bit, go check it out.
I like it.
Now, we will, like we said, come back with whatever else Xbox announces. I think Nintendo said they're delaying one of their directs, if I remember correctly.
Their last one was just straight up Animal Crossing and Pokemon Sword Shield news, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. They didn't really push too much. I take that back. And it was Fire Emblem? It was another game, one that I never really dabbed with.
But we'll definitely keep you guys updated on if that does change and if we have more to bring you.
Yes.
That's all I've got.
I'm flatlining over here. I'm literally gonna nap as soon as this episode uploads.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, guys. And if this was your first episode, it's better latte than never.
I like that one. I thought it was gonna be like I'm just ending the episode right now. No, that was actually really good, really comfortable.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on them.
Yeah.
I'm also trying not to repeat myself because I don't want it to be deja vu.
I can't. Episode over.